Hey, this is Rashad Farrow with Universal Unity, Love I Am. Thank you for being here with me today. I feel so blessed, I feel so grateful, happy, and thankful to be here with you all. Man, today walking up to this spot for me to record this video, I came across some baby owls up on a tree. And then I get to my spot, and then a red cardinal flies up to a branch like 15 feet in front of my face. And then I turn and I look down, and there's a deer just walking. And oh man, it just brought so much joy to my heart because I can feel that the presence is present, you see. The presence, the Most High is present, and it is the gift that always keeps on giving. It is all around us. It is right where you are. It is right where you sit in this very moment. It is within you, and it is you. Here to express in the unique way known as you. And the ground is holy because you are sitting there. Anyways, this video today is going to be about accessing your soul memory. This video today is going to be about accessing the memory encoded within your DNA. I dropped a short a few days ago, a week or less, saying how when you access the heart is a portal to accessing dimensions within your own self, you see. And what I mean by that is that all dimensions, all densities lie within you. All densities and dimensions and aspects of yourself are already within you. All the past lives you lived are encoded within your DNA and within your soul memory, you see. Every dimension, down to the physical, even what some may consider hell, all the way up to the heavens, lie within you, you see. And you can access these dimensions all by going within. You see, there's an aspect of you that is physical. There's an aspect of you that has to think about survival, you see, procreation. There is an aspect of you that is creative, that is the creator. There's an aspect of you that is willful, that has a strong will, that walks in its truth and is not afraid to be authentic. There is an aspect of you that is loving, that is love. There's an aspect of you that is truth, you see, that knows truth, that is truth, that speaks truth, that walks in truth. There is an aspect of you that is sight, that sees all for what it is, true sight. And there is an aspect of you that is knowing, that is infinite, and that is understanding, you see. And a lot of times, without knowing it, we fluctuate between these dimensions within ourselves, or we resonate at 2 or 3 or all at the exact same time. But you see, there is a way to access these dimensions more consciously, and that is what we're here to talk about today. I know so many of us that are in consciousness, you know, that may consider themselves part of a conscious community, want to know what are their past lives? What have they been? How are their past lives affecting them in this life? And I'm here to tell you that the way in which our past lives show up in this life isn't always in the way that we think. So I'm actually gonna begin by reading an automatic writing that came through from my memories. And then I'll go from there. So let's get into it. They say when you're a hammer, everything becomes a nail. Well, we say when you're a book, all experiences become knowledge. Everything can be turned to wisdom. In a book, there are chapters. There are trilogies, novels, parts, you name it. Not only is your life a book, but your many lives are part of a series. Your human mind wants to look at your incarnations as many lives, but from the soul's perspective, it is one. One continuation, building and learning upon the other. Some may say an individual lives many lives in this one life. It can feel like that, living many experiences as many aspects of self, yet retaining the memory of wisdom accrued through experience. If every time you forgot the previous chapter of this current incarnation, every time you evolved into someone else per se, or every time a page turns, you may view this as different lives. You see, there is a veil of forgetting when you incarnate into a new body, but the memories are encoded within you. The soul remembers, and you are soul. The Akasha remembers, and the Akasha resides inside of you. Most may not have direct memory of past incarnations at will, but the experiences and wisdom accrued makes itself known through gnosis, intuition, familiarity, and even fears. We all hold memory. The way it shows up may not be how you expect, but when you allow yourself to be clear, to be the observer, to move from a place of authenticity and to trust your intuition, you'll begin to notice you feel pulled towards one thing and repelled by the next. Some things may just feel right or familiar, or you just know what to do. You feel it in your gut. Maybe some people feel right, or you feel that you know them. This is memory. Maybe you naturally know how to connect with a tree or with a crystal. This is memory. You may be naturally good at math or sciences. You may have an inclination towards music or sports. This is all memory. One of the best ways to access your memory is through things you have a passion for and that you are naturally good at or learn quickly. You see, these memories live inside of you. Some may say the body is not only a vessel, but the physical manifestation of your soul, as above, so below. So your soul memories are encoded in your DNA. There are many ways to access these memories. One of them is simply doing things that you love, trying new things. Let your heart and your inner knowing guide you. You may believe you don't remember because you haven't found the right trigger, the right condition. The things you gravitate towards are usually faint memories of another life. You can set your intention, say, as the I am that governs this body, I set my intention to access soul memory now. Bring into my awareness the life and timeline that will best serve my purpose as it is now. Then go into meditation. Allow your mind and body to quiet down, letting go of all attachment to the outcome, focusing on the breath. Allowing the intention to be in the background, not focusing too much on the intention, but allowing it to play softly until you become aware of subtle impressions through feeling, visions, sounds, smells, or knowing. Set the conditions, burn an incense, light a candle, cover the eyes, turn off the lights. Do these steps repeatedly, and you'll be shown what your soul wants you to see. Remember, it's all already within you. Your consciousness is the key. There are other modalities as well, like past life regression, subconscious regression, where another individual guides you into accessing these memories. This practice works better for some individuals. There are also people who expertise in Akashic reading. One can seek these people who act as guides for you to allow yourself to access these memories. But know that the key to everything you'd wish to unlock is within you. With genuine intention, the right conditions, and the willingness to discover and rediscover and to do what is necessary, anything is possible and accessible. So, that was an automatic writing that through getting still, being quiet, moving from the thinking mind down into the heart center, where I was able to allow memory to flow through me onto paper, you see. All of our memories live within us. You know, I was guided in a way in which I can become aware of one of my past lives, where I found out that in a past life, I was a poet. I was a known poet in ancient Greece that gave channeled messages through allegory and through poetry. And the reason why I bring this up is because since the age of 3, I always believed that I was gonna be a famous rapper. I've always connected with music and on a much deeper level than those around me. And I know we all love music, but for me, music just triggered something within me. And then I started, you know, babbling in a mirror before I could even fully speak. And then as I grew, poetry and writing music became a huge outlet for me. It felt natural, you see. Until this day, I love writing music. You see, that memory of being a known poet was alive within me. And I didn't know that directly until recently, you see. There are many different things and ways in which you can begin to remember soul memory and access the memory within your DNA. I gave this meditation out a while ago in a video I did months ago, but I'm gonna repeat it here because when my higher self, my soul, guided me through this meditation, it changed everything for me. And this has become one of the main keys in which I access soul memory within myself. And I access tapping in to different dimensions within myself. I was sitting down. I turned off the lights. I got quiet. I lit a candle. I started meditating. I went from the thinking mind down to the heart. You see, we think that it's hard to remember past lives. We think it's hard to access soul memory, but that's because it's the ego that tries. It's the ego that strives to attain, that strives to do. It's the soul that just does. You see, the soul already knows. So when you're in the mind, that's when you're trying to do something. When you're in the mind and trying to operate from the ego, that's when you're trying to attain something or retrieve a memory. But when you drop into the heart, that's when you go from the mind to the heart. That's when you go from the mind to love. Your soul is love, and that's when you begin to access these different aspects of yourself. So anyways, I'm in this meditation. I get quiet. I drop down to the heart. And once I drop down to the heart, I literally hear a voice speaking to me. It was in my own voice, but it sounded more mature, per se. It sounded wise. And it says, take a deep breath. And it says, place all of your conscious awareness on what you can feel. So that's what I did. I feel my bottom on the bed. I feel my clothing on my skin. I feel an itch on my arm. I feel my heart pumping. Doom, 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 doom. I feel my blood pumping. I feel the blood vessels. I became so aware of everything that I was feeling. Every small detail I feel my toes. I feel my fingers. And as I became aware of everything that I could feel, I realized that I could feel almost every organ within my body. I could feel the blood pumping through every vessel. I could feel my heart pumping. I could feel the vein in my head throbbing. I could feel everything. It almost felt as if I could feel the hair growing on my head. And you see, when I went into this, I had no expectation. I wasn't thinking of the next step. I was fully invested in what I was being consciously aware of in that moment. And once I felt that I could feel everything that I could feel, then I said, now place your conscious awareness on everything that you can hear. So I can hear cars driving by. I can hear a vent turn on. I just heard a creak on the ceiling. I just heard something go tick, tick, tick. And then it began to get deeper. Now I can hear my heartbeat. I can hear the blood pumping in my ears. I can hear a hum. I just heard a high-pitched ring. You see, I can hear a steady vibration. And once I named everything that I was consciously aware of that I could hear, I said, now place your awareness on everything that you can see. And initially, I go, in my mind, it is dark. So I see darkness. But I kept focusing. Oh, I can see little squiggles, like light. I can see light beginning to come out of the darkness. I can see a pulsating waves. It's starting to become indigo. Now I see an indigo pulsating. You see, it started to get deeper the more I placed my conscious awareness on everything that I could see. And like I said, I wasn't thinking of the next step. I wasn't thinking of what am I gonna do next. I was fully consciously aware in what I was focusing on in that moment. By the time I finished this process, I was so ultra aware of everything that I could feel. I was so ultra aware of everything that I could hear. I was so ultra aware of everything that I could see, though my eyes were closed, that I was left being nothing but pure awareness. It felt as if my awareness was viewing from my heart space. I was aware of the space around me. I was aware that I was in this body. I was aware that I was not the body. I was aware that this was a vessel for my soul. Whoops. So I was aware that I was a vessel for my soul. And that this was not all of what I am. The sounds that I hear, the things around me are not what I am. And then from this state, I was able to switch from being in body consciousness and being aware of the body and everything that the body is experiencing, to now I could switch to universal consciousness, to where now I was everything else around me. I was able to see that I was also one with the space around me. And I could either view from this space of being in the body, or I could switch and view from being literal space, viewing the body almost from above and all around. In this moment, the feeling felt so profound. I felt ecstatic. I felt love. I felt joy. I felt absolute peace and knowing that everything was perfect and that I was already whole and complete. So of course, from this moment, when I would meditate, that was the process I would go through. I would go through that same process of becoming absolutely present and then becoming the awareness, aware of everything. And over time of doing this, I've started just doing it when I'm out and about. I switched from being Rashad to being observer. I might be working. I might be walking at a store. I might be walking through the woods, you see. And I switch to observer. When I'm writing, you see, I switch to observer. And when I switch from Rashad, the ego, and I switch to observer, then I begin to gravitate and move towards what feels right, what my soul wants to experience next. What memories, what qualities want to come to the surface to express in this next bit of time, or whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And you see, sure, it takes practice for the ego mind, but this is your natural state. So the memory of how to tap into memory came to me through being in my natural state. And that natural state is so natural that the ego makes it hard, you see. The ego tries to strive for it, but it feels so natural and familiar that we make it difficult. It's less about striving to get there and more about just being absolutely present, you see. So I bring this up because you already have access and do access your memory. You already have access and do access past life memories, soul memories, believe it or not, source memories. For we are all light rays emanating from the central sun. You see. Man, this wind is crazy. Hopefully this video turns out all right. I'm gonna keep going with it though. So, the number one thing that is important that I've discovered through accessing my own memory, moving towards what feels right, allowing myself to feel what my heart knows is... Sorry, I lost the train I was going, but that's the number one key. Feeling what is right. What do you move towards naturally? Feeling what your heart knows. You can use that meditation technique in order to get into the observer space, in order to get to the heart space. And then be honest with yourself. What do you want to do? What is it that you want to move towards? What skills do you want to access? What brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? What makes you feel good? What gifts and qualities do you have to offer to the world and to those around you? And you see, these things that you naturally gravitate towards are most likely going to be your soul memories. So maybe you're naturally good at painting. Maybe you naturally felt guided to paint growing up or recently. Maybe you're naturally good at writing. Maybe you're naturally good at speaking. Maybe you're good at writing music or playing an instrument. Maybe you have no fear public speaking or standing in front of a crowd. Maybe you're a great teacher and you're able to work with people on a one-to-one basis really well. maybe you're good at creating the condition and circumstance for another individual to show up as their best self in a setting, in a place, or doing a thing. You see, we observe the things that we're naturally good at and feel guided to, and then we put our more conscious awareness and attention on this thing to cultivate it, you see. Now, the way memories show up is different for everyone. You may very well have a straight up vision of being in a timeline, in a place, on a different planet, who knows? But for a lot of people, and I believe everything is attainable, if you're not able to be there now, you can most definitely get there. But for a lot of people, you access past memory and soul memory through familiarity. What feels right to you? What feels familiar? What feels natural? You see, what are you good at? It's just a feeling. You see, when I started to self-discover, when I began to go within with the conscious intention of knowing who am I, discovering and rediscovering who am I, what have I come to do, what is my purpose. When I started to move with that intention, and then I didn't judge anything, I just moved towards what I felt was right, I began to realize that, man, I want to write books. I feel I'm a great writer. I'm gonna write books one day, you see. Man, I love writing poetry and doing music. Man, I love when I'm in service. I love being of service to people. I love to help people. Making others feel good makes me feel good. Man, I love to swim. I love water. I didn't grow up in the ocean, but when I'm at the ocean, it feels like a second home to me. I love the stars. I love stargazing. You see, I started tapping into these parts of me and consciously recognizing these different things that I love to do and what I feel naturally gravitated towards. And then as I did this and I allowed myself to be present and go within, I started unlocking memories in which where I did these things in past lives, where I was soaring the skies, where I was living in the water, flying over Mars, and much more that I've yet to access. But it all begins with getting still, getting present, going within your heart. When you go within your heart, you move out of the egoic mind and you begin to access different dimensions within yourself. You see, time isn't real. Time is a 3D construct measuring the distance between objects or the distance between events. But the truth is all timelines are happening right now, concurrently. So when you move into the heart and you move out of the mind and the ego, you begin to move into a space. You begin to move into a place where there's no space and time. When you begin to move into that place where there's no space or time, then you begin to access different timelines. So, yes, we can all access our different memories. We can all access our soul. When your soul comes into this body, it gets denser and denser and denser. And your soul memories become encoded within your DNA. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You become a bridge between worlds, you see. You allow yourself to get present and you become a bridge between worlds. And it's funny because we think of worlds as being out there. We think of past and future. But it's all happening right now. I'm not saying I'm a pro yet, but I've been blessed with a glimpse of what is possible. Anyways, man, thank y'all for tuning in. It is the solstice. It is the solstice. What do you want? What are you striving for? What are your goals? What heights do you want to ascend to? What things do you want to achieve? What makes your heart sing? What brings you the highest joy? What is your intention? What are you intending for your life? Where are you placing your awareness? These are all the questions one should begin asking themselves. It's a beautiful time. Everything is happening for our growth and our highest good. Life is happening for us. And the reality is created based off of your inner state of being. Where are you placing your awareness? What are you giving your energy? My friends, happy solstice. I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. Peace. Peace, y'all.